out on him. Shit jammed, it was on after that. I get locked up for murder. When I was 18 years old, I was probably the most dangerous in my city.
Welcome to Money Gang. Albee, the Jersey City rapper with raw street credibility and a talent for survival. He faced murder charges that could have ended his life forever. This is the story of how Albee beat not one, but two murder cases, as well as rumors surrounding the possibility of more bodies in his name. Let's get to it. Albert Robinson, known to most as Albee Al, was born and raised in Jersey City, New Jersey, raised in the Marion projects.
Ain't nobody gonna be under this comment in this YouTube video from Marion like, poet fraud.
Yeah.
Cat.
Growing up in this tough environment, surrounded by local gangs, it didn't take long for him to venture into criminal activity and being locked up for the first time at just 13 years old.
Okay, so how old were you when you first got locked up?
I was 13.
13.
Yeah.
Okay. Aggravated assault, and you say the guy's jaw got broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because there's a difference between just assault and aggravated assault. Aggravated assault means that it's like permanent damage.
Yeah. So that I was young though. It was a temper thing. We was all fighting and shit happened. You feel me? And
Albee was affiliated with the Marion Gardens Bloods, set from a young age, and admits to possessing firearms and being arrested in his teens. But it was a summer night in 2010 when his troubles really began.
A few years ago, where you were actually charged with murder.
Yeah.
So
Right.
what exactly was that situation about?
It's just something that transpired that was like that I'm glad. Like it's a situation that happens in the hood all the time. You know what I mean? Like some people be drinking too much, like liquor get the best of them. Shit get ugly fast, you feel me? And you be there and it's like, you got, shit happens, you know what I mean? And
It was the early morning of June 5th, 2010, in Jersey City, New Jersey. A hot summer night that would turn deadly. A group of young men were hanging out near the Hudson River waterfront, a popular strip where fights and arguments weren't uncommon. Among them was 17-year-old Jermaine Williams.
I had to slow down on them pills, can't do the ops no favors. If you a rat, stay away, I heard that shit contagious. I'm in these streets day and night, it's like I live in Vegas. Cartier's on my face, trying to block the haters. You should see this money that I'm making, this shit's so amazing.
What happened next depends on who you ask, but the official story would later say it started with an argument that escalated fast. Witnesses described a violent brawl, fists, shouting, chaos, and then a gunshot. Williams was hit, wounded. He collapsed near the waterfront walkway. What came next was far worse than the shooting itself. Allegedly, Albert Robinson, a rising rapper from Jersey City, known locally as Albee Al, and his cousin Joshua Robinson, didn't just flee.
I was done. Like I was finished. I was facing over 100. Like, you know what I mean? Niggas know this shit. Like, cause I was already out on bail for a gun charge. Shit adds up to, you know what I mean? The gang criminality separate alone, that's 30 years consecutive on top of the 20. So that's 50 right there. And we ain't even talking about losing trial on murder.
The story goes that Albee picked up the wounded teenager and threw him into the Hudson River, leaving him to die. The case would become one of the most sensational murder investigations in New Jersey hip-hop history. Within days, detectives from the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office began interviewing witnesses and collecting statements. Early reports named Joshua Robinson, Albee Al's cousin, as the shooter, but prosecutors didn't stop there. They believed Albee Al was directly involved in what they called the disposal of the victim's body. He was charged with first-degree murder, aggravated manslaughter, and reckless manslaughter.
It was like, I had to push his hand. I'm trying to chill because I got my lady with me.
Right.
So I'm not trying to bring the smoke, you know what I mean? If she wasn't there, it would have been up. But I got to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But the nigga was just like, they was just chasing it to a point where she like, yeah, you gonna let them niggas do that?
Battery.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
At just 23 years old, Albee Al was facing life in prison, or what he later described in interviews as 100 years. The prosecution's story was brutal. Joshua shot Jermaine Williams, and Albee helped cover it up by throwing the dying teen into the river. It was later determined that the victim died from drowning and not a gunshot wound. But Albee's defense team would paint a very different picture. For the next 4 years, Albee Al sat in county jail awaiting trial. The case moved slowly, witness issues, evidence challenges, and motions from both sides. During that time, his reputation in the streets only grew. He started writing music again from behind bars, speaking about loyalty, betrayal, and faith, themes that would later define his style.
How long was it before you actually got arrested and you went to trial?
Oh, when the shit happened, 2 weeks later, I was out there though when the shit happened, you know what I mean? And I was still home, whatever, chilling, doing what I do. And 2 weeks later, I get locked up for the shit. And I sat in jail for 4 years before I even started trial.
While locked up, the hip-hop scene around him was changing, but his name still carried weight in Jersey City. Everything came down to what the jury would believe.
Sometimes in jail, like jail is like this. You learn your lesson when you in jail. A smart man learns his lesson in jail. You know what I mean? You learn your lesson in jail, but some people got life in jail and they never gonna figure it out. But they learned the lesson. But it's like, damn, if they get another chance out there, they gonna show that they learned their lesson, and they caught on. But some people catch on too late. You know what I mean?
By June 2014, the case finally reached a Hudson County courtroom. The prosecution laid out their theory that Joshua Robinson had shot Jermaine Williams during a fight, and that Albee Al, instead of helping, had finished the job by dumping the body into the Hudson River. They called eyewitnesses who claimed to have seen 2 men standing over the victim. They presented photo lineups, police statements, and forensic summaries about the scene near the waterfront. But when the defense took over, the story began to unravel. Defense attorneys argued there was no physical evidence tying Albee Al to throwing anyone into the water. No fingerprints, no DNA, and no reliable eyewitness testimony. Several witnesses reportedly changed their stories or contradicted earlier statements. And without solid proof that Albee Al was directly involved in the fatal act, the prosecution's case began to crumble.
And you gotta size up the birthdays, like, cause you facing that much time. You like, damn, if I take 10, my daughter gonna be this age, I probably could catch this. I won't catch her 8th grade graduation, but I might catch her high school.
Yo.
That's some real shit that go on in there. Motherfuckers be sizing shit up like that.
After weeks of testimony and years of waiting, the verdict finally came down. In June 2014, the jury found Albert Albee Al Robinson not guilty on all counts: first-degree murder, aggravated manslaughter, and reckless manslaughter. Inside the courtroom, the reaction was explosive. Supporters reportedly shouted in celebration. Family members cried as Albee was freed after 4 long years behind bars. His cousin Joshua Robinson, on the other hand, reportedly pleaded guilty to a lesser charge related to the shooting and served his own sentence of 10 years. After walking free, Albee Al returned to Jersey City, but his struggles with the law weren't over. On June 30th, 2013, while Albee was fighting the murder case, his brother Jamir here was shot and killed near Bergen and Clinton Avenue. Jamir, 28 at the time, was shot a total of 5 times, 3 times in the upper right back, once in the back right thigh, and once in the jaw. Robinson was later pronounced dead at the Jersey City Medical Center. No witnesses could or would say what it was about, which escalated into violence. A person named Jay was charged with a murder, but the case was later dismissed. After the shooting, a guy named Anthony was arrested at Bergen and Lexington Avenue, to blocks from the crime scene. He would end up getting 13 years. By 2016, his buzz was growing fast. He was performing across New Jersey, doing interviews and letting people know he wasn't afraid of anything. But in neighborhoods like Marion Gardens and Curry Woods, peace never lasted long. Old tensions, new rivalries, and neighborhood beefs made every corner unpredictable.
You know what I mean? Because I'd rather be in there fighting for my life, being a suspect than being a victim. Anytime. What human wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Fuck you talking about? I'm going. Cause I got to make it home to them kids. I got to make it home to my mother. Cause if I'm gone, everything falls apart.
In 2016, it was reported that Albee Al suffered a gunshot wound to his right forearm in an incident at Baldwin Avenue and Rock Street. He refused medical attention allegedly. He was unharmed and only grazed. A second victim was grazed in the lower back by the same gunfire less than a block away at Baldwin Avenue near Academy Street. The man, who appeared to be in his mid-20s, was treated at the Jersey City Medical Center. It was determined that he was an unintended target. Al got on Snapchat after the shooting to celebrate dodging serious injury. He was chanting, "Bullets must be blanks because they keep missing."
I can't be that guy that my brother dead. You feel me? That's my Superman. He dead. You feel me? And we gotta go see him in the grave. I see what it did to my mother. It fucks my mother up when I'm in jail, but you gotta come see me like that. Like, come see me like that. Like, you ain't about to come see me like that. I already seen what that did to you.
Right.
Some people speculated it was street retaliation or a targeted hit, while others thought he was simply caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. But like many incidents in Jersey City's underground scene, the truth was never made public.
But I done seen people moms and they done hug me, seen people fathers, they done hug me and they done looked at me and it was like, what you gonna do? Like, you feel me? Like, get back. And that's the life I've been living. You feel me? I've been living that type of life for a long time.
That's survival.
Before we move on, we need to talk about another name tied to the darker side of Jersey streets, Darnell Reeves. Reeves made headlines long before Albee Al's own run-ins with the law. Known around Jersey City for his tough reputation, prosecutors would later describe him as a violent figure who was a 5-star blood gang general. His first major case dates back to 2008, when a Jersey City man named Henry Molesky was killed. Reeves wasn't convicted of the murder itself, but he did plead to weapons charges connected to that homicide. In 2012, he was sentenced to 16 years in state prison for those gun charges. Yet according to corrections records, he was out by July 2017, roughly 5 years later. The publicly available records do not fully explain the reduction in time served in terms of credits, concurrent terms, plea bargains, or early release programs. But freedom didn't last long. Just 2 years later, in 2019, Reeves was back in headlines, this time accused in a broad daylight shooting in Passaic, where 2 men were nearly killed. And his accomplice? Albee Al.
It's always gonna be hard for a real nigga. That's how it goes, man. But you know what I mean, I'm finished. Let me stand on that. My lawyer gonna fight, man. I'll be right back, man. Get back to my family, man. My family. It's all about my family, my supporters, man. I'm sorry for all the situation, which I know I'm coming back, man. I know I'm the backbone of my whole family, man. I take care of my whole staff.
In late August of 2019, the story took a new twist. A non-fatal shooting in Passaic County, New Jersey, would name 2 familiar figures, Albee Al Robinson and Darnell Reeves, and trigger one of the most high-profile attempted murder investigations in the region.
You feel me? The grandma cookie with the peanut butter. Shout out boy Yak, can't fuck with me with this jailhouse shit, bro. I've been doing this shit.
Prosecutors say the incident began in broad daylight. On August 23, 2019, shots rang out in Passaic. A 34-year-old man was struck and seriously wounded. He survived. Investigators quickly treated the shooting as targeted and violent, not random street fire. Law enforcement moved fast. Authorities accused 2 men, Darnell R. Reeves and Albert Robinson, of orchestrating the attack. The charges announced by local prosecutors were severe. 2 counts of first-degree attempted murder, unlawful possession of a handgun, possession of a handgun for an unlawful purpose, and charges under the statute barring certain persons from possessing weapons. Those are the kinds of charges that can carry decades in prison if proven.
And I'm going inside, like it's gonna be a while, man. Call my lawyer. Where she at, man? My lawyer gonna tell me Albee to stand the dirt. Now it's a waiting game. Wait to get indicted. It's time to fight.
Darnell Reeves, who by then already had prior weapons convictions and a reputation in local reporting as a violent street figure, was arrested after a multi-agency manhunt. State police and fugitive task forces tracked him down in Kenilworth. Albee Al's interaction with police differed. Reports say he turned himself in to face the charges relating to the shooting.
When I was in jail, bro, like every time I go to jail, it's like I'm facing life. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm in that motherfucker, and that's the scariest shit to be like just watching like stories and be like, yo, I'm not even there to protect my kid.
Public reporting described a case built around the shooting itself and alleged ballistic and witness evidence. Local prosecutors pointed to statements, investigative leads, and the serious nature of the victim's injuries when filing felony attempted murder charges. But the publicly available reporting did not publish every piece of discovery or the full trial record, which means much of what the public hears comes from the charges, police statements, and later reporting on how the case progressed. After the arrests, both men were processed through the court system. The case moved through arraignments, pretrial hearings, and months of legal maneuvering. For defendants facing first-degree attempted murder charges, the pretrial period can be long and fraught with motions, suppression hearings, witness challenges, and intense negotiations behind closed doors.
There you go. Let's go!
Importantly, by the time the public really watched the story unfold, the case no longer looked like the slam-dunk prosecutors had charged. After nearly 3 years in custody, awaiting the outcome of these proceedings, Albert Robinson, Albee Al, was released, and the charges against him related to this shooting were ultimately dismissed, or he was cleared. Public reporting described his legal team as successfully beating the case after lengthy litigation. Albee just beat his second case.
What's up, bro? Yo, what's up, bro? 2 for 2. Yeah, you can't get shit. Yeah, get him.
I'm at home.
Get him. Mike Myers back.
Yeah.
Get him. Yeah. This shit stupid.
Yeah.
Both men pled guilty to fourth-degree aggravated assault under a negotiated deal, a plea the prosecutor's office said carried a recommendation of 18 months in prison.
Marion breeds soldiers, bro. Soldiers ain't bad. Soldiers protect. It's probably the worst hood in Jersey. You feel me? One of the most dangerous hoods in Jersey. But
Marion Gardens, also known as Marion 300, is a Bloods-linked crew rooted in the public housing complex of the same name. Federal and state indictments describe the group as an organized enterprise built on narcotic sales and a readiness for violence. Community storytellers and neighborhood videos often pair Marion Gardens' rise with that of nearby Grape Street, a Crip-affiliated network that grew out of Newark but has influence in parts of Hudson County. Online discussions and local interviews claim the two groups have traded violence for years.
take a good look, bitch. It might be the last time you see a gangster like this, man. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. We outside, though. Everybody's invited. Even the ops, come party with us. Yeah.
And while nothing is clear on Albee's involvement in any of this, the timing puts him right there, and a few rumors deep on Reddit would have you believe there is more to the story. What's clear, and what the records confirm, is that violence around Marion Gardens became a centerpiece of federal racketeering cases in the late 2010s. The rest, the names of who fired first, which sets still claim to beef, lives in rumor, memory, and the shadow conversations of the city's corners.
Oh man, you know what's up, man. Me and my brother, man, fresh out. This was facing life and shit. You feel
Real shit.
You feel me? And what I'm trying to tell y'all is, all it's about is just staying loyal, man. Loyal to your brothers, keeping your mouth shut, sticking to your shit, man. Standing on what you believe in, you know? Now look at us, you feel me? We just facing life. Steak slides, niggas off that shit. You know what I mean? Sleeping on a hard ass mat. Now we in 5-star hotels, presidential suites, living like this. You feel me? Dawn P for Perry on, you know how we rockin' everything twice shit, man. Ace of Spades shit, man. You get this shit with your brother, you stay loyal to your brother, loyalty game forever, man. You know how we rockin', man.
When you hear Albee talk in interviews, it's hard to believe this guy is a killer. And after all, he beat both cases, so there is zero evidence to call him that. He speaks well, is very intelligent, fiercely loyal, and just comes across as a good dude. It's when you hear others describe him that you start to wonder. But we all have a past, and whether he is guilty of 2 or more murders, we will probably never know. But he beat the system that tried to finish him, not once but twice, and right now his stock couldn't be higher. Salute Albee all. Thanks for watching. The following documentary contains references to real events reported in the media and in public court records. Some scenes discuss alleged criminal activity and ongoing rivalries that have not been confirmed in court. Everyone mentioned remains innocent until proven guilty. This is created purely for informational and storytelling purposes, not to glorify violence or gang culture.